Two massive U.S. aircraft carriers are moving closer to Iran right now. Why would America send that much power at once? Because something huge may be about to happen. Talks are failing. Warnings were given, and now the next move could change history in the Middle East forever. Tension between the United States and Iran has reached a level we have not seen in years. Big words are being spoken, military forces are moving, and leaders on both sides are sending strong messages. So, what is the United States about to do? The answer is simple. It is preparing for a massive show of force that could turn into the largest military pressure campaign against Iran in modern history. But before we talk about what might happen next, we need to understand what is already happening. The United States has deployed not just one, but two aircraft carriers to the region near Iran. These are not small ships, they are floating air bases. One of them is the USS Gerald R. The other is the USS Abraham Lincoln. Why send two? Because one carrier alone sends a message. Two carriers send a warning. Each carrier carries dozens of fighter jets, support aircraft, and thousands of trained sailors. Together, they can launch wave after wave of aircraft into the sky. That means more speed, more power, and more options. This kind of deployment does not happen by accident. It comes after months of tension over Iran's nuclear program. The United States wants Iran to limit its nuclear activities. Iran says it has the right to continue its work. Talks have been difficult, and when talks slow down, pressure increases. Former U.S. President Donald Trump made it clear during negotiations that if no deal is reached, there would be serious consequences. Strong words were repeated more than once. At the same time, Israel has been watching closely. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has publicly expressed deep doubts about trusting Iran's promises. So now the question becomes, is this just pressure, or is this preparation for something bigger? Let's look at the military side. The USS Abraham Lincoln carries advanced F-35 fighter jets. These are stealth aircraft. That means they are harder to detect on radar. They are designed to strike important targets quickly and return safely. The USS Gerald R. carries F-18 fighter jets and EA-18G Growlers. The Growlers specialize in electronic warfare. In simple words, they can jam enemy signals and confuse radar systems. Why does that matter? Because Iran has built strong air defenses over the years. It also produces large numbers of drones. In a conflict, Iran could try to overwhelm US ships and bases using many drones at once. This strategy is sometimes called swarming. It means sending many small threats at the same time, hoping some get through. With two carrier groups, the US can defend against swarms more easily. One group can focus on defense, while the other focuses on strikes, or both can operate together for greater protection. This is not just about attack, it is about control. Now let's talk about geography. The Persian Gulf is narrow in places, especially near the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has influence in that area. In a crisis, shipping routes could be affected. That matters because a large part of the world's oil passes through those waters. By placing carriers nearby, the United States is signaling that it intends to keep those routes open. But there is another layer. Iran has continued developing ballistic missiles. These missiles could potentially carry powerful warheads. Even without nuclear weapons, ballistic missiles can cause serious damage. Satellite images have shown that some Iranian military sites damaged in earlier strikes were repaired quickly. That tells US planners something important. Iran is preparing for long-term strength. And then there is the political situation inside Iran. Protests in recent years have shown that not all citizens agree with the government's direction. The Iranian leadership responded firmly to unrest. That response drew international criticism. Yet when internal pressure and external pressure happen at the same time, things can become unpredictable. So what exactly could the United States do? Military experts suggest that if conflict begins, it would likely start with air operations. Stealth aircraft could target air defense systems first. That would open space for additional aircraft to operate more safely. Cruise missiles launched from ships could strike military facilities. Surveillance aircraft like the E-2D Hawkeye would monitor the skies and coordinate movements. The goal would not be random destruction. It would be focused on military infrastructure. And here is the key difference from past events. This would not likely be a one-day strike. With 2 carriers in place, the US would have the ability to conduct sustained operations for weeks if needed. And that is what makes this moment feel so massive. But here's the big question. Does anyone actually want a full war? Probably not. War is costly. It affects civilians. It shakes global markets. It raises fuel prices. It creates fear across entire regions. That is why some experts believe this buildup is meant to force a deal, not start a battle. When one side shows overwhelming strength, it can change negotiation dynamics. The message becomes clear: compromise now, or face serious consequences later. Iran's officials have recently stated that they are open to dialogue if the United States shows sincerity. Those words could mean a path toward agreement, or they could simply be part of political messaging. The coming talks in Geneva are crucial. Diplomats will attempt to find common ground. Behind them stands a massive military presence. This combination of diplomacy and force is sometimes called peace through strength. The idea is simple: show power so that you never have to use it. However, history shows that miscalculations can happen. A small incident at sea, a drone shot down, a missile fired in error. In tense situations, even minor events can grow quickly. That is why both sides must move carefully. Another important factor is regional allies. Countries like Israel and Gulf states host US bases. Iran has warned that if attacked, it could respond against those bases. That spreads risk across the region. But US bases are protected with air defense systems. And again, Iran would have to divide its resources between attacking ships and targeting land bases. Splitting forces makes any strategy harder. And so what does all this mean? It means we are watching a moment that could either lead to a historic agreement or a historic confrontation. The United States has positioned enough firepower to make its threats real. Iran has shown that it will not easily back down. Both sides understand the stakes. The world is watching oil prices, diplomatic talks, and military movements all at once. Will this massive US buildup push Iran toward a deal? Or will it become the opening chapter of a larger conflict? We'll find out soon. If you found this breakdown helpful and want clear updates on global events explained in simple terms, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Big decisions are being made, and the next move could truly go down in history.